So I am sitting here with Michael and Jessica Boulware. Thank you guys so much for being here. And man, when it comes to marriage, there's not many people that I feel like are doing it right today. Would you agree? Like when it comes to marriage, I feel like as a society, I feel like we're missing the mark when it comes to just really intentionally loving our family well, our wives well. But when it comes to marriage, I feel like you guys do such an amazing job.
Well, I appreciate that, yeah.
Yeah?
Statistically speaking, yeah, marriages are suffering. I think
Yes.
the enemy is after our marriages.
Yes.
And even the marriages that are still intact, there's a struggle, and there's kind of a stigma that marriages, some of the stage you have to get through.
Yes.
And something you got to just struggle through and fight through and just endure it and try to make the situation as good as possible. And, I don't like that. I don't like that mindset. I don't like that idea. I think that is a lie from the enemy.
Yeah.
And I think that if you, there are some things that make marriage difficult, but there are also things that you can do that will make marriage worth it and sweet and enjoyable and something to be excited about. And that's kind of what we want to talk about.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you said there are some things that make marriage difficult. So I understand that so much because I feel like for me, I did a lot of things that made marriage difficult. I didn't come from like a place of respect. I didn't come from a place of like love, like showing my husband respect and love. And that's something I feel like Jessica does a really, really great job of. And so what are some of the things that make marriages difficult, in your opinion?
The things that make it difficult is, I know, lack of communication. And within the communication, not communicating expectations. And even within the expectations, understanding that expectations are not lines. They're not hard. She only does 1, 2, 3, 4, and I only do 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right.
But she is my helpmate, and we are to help each other. And although her role in our marriage is 1, 2, 3, I can always come alongside her and help her with those things and help her do those things better. And the same thing
the other way too.
Yeah.
The other way too. Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that. But that sounds good. That absolutely sounds good in theory, but like, where did that come from you? Like, where did that come from? Because I wasn't taught that. And I believe that a lot of Americans aren't taught like, okay, she's my helpmate. Yeah, it says that in the Bible, but what does that look like practically? And so for you, where does that come from?
Well, here's the thing here's the way I approach it. She is my helpmate, and biblically speaking, I am responsible, right? I am responsible for the family and moving it down the field.
Yeah.
Or I'm responsible for it being healthy, and although she has roles, right? And if she's not able to do those roles, and our marriage, our lifestyle is suffering for it, I don't get extra credit because I point a finger at her and say, you didn't do your job. No, the goal is to move the marriage down the field or to have a happy marriage. And so what I'm trying to do is, okay, if she's struggling, what can I do to help her do her part better so that we as a family can enjoy our marriage better? And so for me, it's about, how can we maximize the marriage? Because the reverse is true. I'm responsible for 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need her at times to come alongside of me and say, I know this is not my role, but how can I help? How can I be a blessing to you? How can I help make this better for us? And when you work together like that, things tend to get pushed down the field or to be better. But when you say, that's not my role, that's not my spot,
absolutely,
that's on you.
That's not received well. That's not received well. When he talks about, he's the head of the household, he's the one who's responsible for pushing the family down the field. I acknowledge that. Sometimes we have conversations, and you may not know this, but we're in conversation and we don't agree on something, and whether it's financial or something like that, and I'll say, well, you're head of the household.
Wow.
Do what you say.
Wow.
But it makes it easy. It makes it easy for me.
Really?
It does. I'm not.
Yes.
Makes it's a bigger load for him.
Wow.
Yes. And
Wow.
in that context, it's like when I hear her say that, it causes me to pump the brakes.
Wow.
Because I don't want it to be all on me. And so when I hear that from her, I pump the brakes in my decision making, and try to include her, because I work better. Two heads are better than one.
For sure.
And so if it's a situation where she's like, okay, that's on you, unless I'm 100% confident on it, I'm like, okay, tell me what you're saying.
Wow.
Tell me what you're feeling, because I don't want it to be all
just on you. That's huge. Some of the things that you guys reference, I wanna dive into, because you said pushing us down the field. Football was such a huge part of your life, and softball was a huge part of your life. And so being a former NFL player, how in the world did that kind of play into your marriage? Because I feel like you have such a mindset. Yeah. You have such a mindset of like, we have to do this. And if there's one weak person on your team, then that makes it very tough for us to move forward. You made probably 3 references to moving our family down the field. So what does that look like for you, transitioning from the NFL to being this successful entrepreneur, to being this amazing world-class dad, to being this incredible husband? How did football play a part into your marriage and even transitioning out of football?
Yeah, I think you made a great point there. Like in football, even you take Tom Brady, as good as he is, man, if he doesn't have an offensive line that's blocking, if he doesn't have receivers that are catching, if he doesn't have a defense that's stopping the other team, he's lost. He didn't have all the success. Jessica was a pitcher, and she can throw as many strikes as she wants, right? But if the catcher's not catching and framing, and the defender, her defense is not supporting her behind her, she's not going to be successful. And I think that is a big reason why I can see past, my position and my role in my family, and understand I need help.
Wow.
Because any team, there's no individual, there's no I in team. And so in my marriage, there is no I. There is no, at the end of the day, I believe that God is going to be looking at me. But I know for me to be successful, I need her. I have to have her beside me.
Wow, that's huge. And how was that for you? Like, because you are a world actor, like a class act in yourself. Like, you are super, super successful. You have your own business, all softball, and, pitching all over. And so how was it for you being so successful in your own right, but then marrying someone who's super successful and coming together and building this amazing family unit?
Michael has always supported me. I definitely know that there are relationships where if one spouse is
super successful,
the other one is not support. That's never been the case. He's always supported me, and vice versa. He jokes around and says that I'm the more famous one. But you got paid. You got paid.
Right.
So that both works.
I love that.
We support each other, period.
And it's made your marriage work.
Yeah. I mean, we don't assume anything. We definitely, I think we talk more than what people would think as far as communicate. I mean, we will literally lay in bed hours just going over the day. All right, and hey, how can I get better?
Wow, you guys ask each other that?
Yeah. And that's again, maybe it's
We're trying to get better.
We're trying to get better.
Every single day.
Our whole world, from a little kid until we retired from sports, was watching film. We're getting coached. We're getting sharpened by our teammates and our coaches. We watch the film, and we don't, in athletic world, you can't really take it. You're not supposed to take it personal. You know, it's all about getting the team better and how can we win? How can we push the ball out of the field? And so for us, communication is everything. I know within football, to have a great offense or a great defense, we have to be able to communicate with each other. And here's the other thing that is crucial that I feel like a lot of marriages are missing is you can communicate, right? But how you communicate is probably more important than what you communicate.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so
let's talk about that. The approach. Okay, so I think that you're spot on. Spot on. I didn't grow up that way. I did not grow. I grew up in a broken family, and so I didn't see that communication. I didn't see that let's dissect, let's look at film, right? Let's review the day. And so approach is everything. But what if you don't know how to have a good approach, or how can we navigate that?
Yeah, and if you don't know how, go ahead.
A cheat sheet.
A cheat sheet?
Well,
what is a cheat sheet?
Go ahead.
What is a cheat sheet?
I mean, now we're referencing football, a playbook.
A playbook, okay.
It's when we talk, and it's like a question that he asks a lot and I ask a lot. How do you know that I love you? Okay, and we'll say this. Oh, people will think it's funny for me. One of the things is you let me sleep in. That's a big. I really love.
You like to sleep?
I like to sleep. I like to sleep.
That's easy for me.
That's easy.
Come on, I can do that. I can do that.
Yeah, and so
But here's the thing: if you've never seen it, it's going to be hard, right? So one, you might want to try. You got to find someone who's doing it right. But again, ask a lot of questions. Don't be afraid to revisit things.
Yeah.
After something is blown out of kind of out of control, go back and talk about something. Tell me, what was it about what I said that hurt you, right? And as the man, I need to make note of that. I can't do that. Because when I do that, this is the response that I'm getting.
and you can't discount your spouse's feelings.
You cannot,
even if you don't agree with them.
it.
That's huge.
Feelings are important. They are feeling what they're feeling.
Right.
And so don't say, well, you shouldn't feel that way.
I'm just like, well, I feel that way.
Right.
Even if she's wrong,
Yes.
or he's wrong,
Yes.
you can't say they're not feeling what they're feeling.
Right.
That's unfair. Now, how you
Phrase it.
phrase it or how you deal with it, that's a different different animal.
Okay.
And how you've got to figure out a different way to approach it, but never discount feelings.
Oh yeah, that makes them feel like their feelings are invalid.
One thing that we also are not, we are not sarcastic. We are, and there's our kids don't even get sarcasm at school because they don't hear it in
At
the
home.
house.
That's huge.
Because it's
It's not nice.
No.
It doesn't come across as nice.
Well, and here's the thing, right? And I think of marriage in the category like a bank account.
Okay.
Right? And you're either making deposits, a love deposit, or you're making a withdrawal, right? And
So true.
when you are using sarcasm in reference to your husband or wife, you are taking a deposit out of the account that's worthless.
Oh.
Right? You're not using it for anything. You're taking that money out and you're throwing it in the trash. And here's the problem with most marriages, right? Most marriages are operating in a deficit already. All right?
That's
you're
huge.
Talking about people, oftentimes, people come from bad situations, right?
Yeah.
And they come into marriage, unfortunately, with
Baggage.
right?
That's me,
Baggage
yeah.
is a negative bank account. You're coming into a marriage with debt.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so
That's huge.
as you're moving along, you're already in a negative. You're coming from a hurtful place.
Yes.
And then when your spouse takes a small withdrawal from that negative bank account, it just sends you into a
Deeper.
Then here's the thing that is what people don't understand. Einstein said, and I think this is right, that compound interest is one of the most powerful forces in the universe.
Okay.
Compound interest.
Yes.
Right? You're compounding whether you know it or not for the positive or the negative. So if you have a negative bank account and you are getting charged interest,
Ooh, come on,
right?
come
that
on.
interest, that hurt is just growing and growing and growing.
Exponentially.
And and so your marriage is struggling and you're in a rut because you have a negative compounded, and you're doing little things like, you know,
Taking a shot.
take a little shot, being sarcasm, and you don't mean nothing back.
That's not fruitful.
But on top of everything else, it's just a negative withdrawal, right?
Wow.
But what people don't realize is the opposite has an effect too. So when you make small positive deposits, again, depending on the baggage,
Yes.
right? Unfortunately, the baggage is there. You can't just get rid of it.
Right.
But eventually, you can pay off that debt and get into a situation where you're operating in a place of fruitfulness, where you have excess, right? And when you are in that place, that's when marriage gets fun, right? That's when you enjoy your marriage and your wife.
Right.
Too many people are operating from a negative, and
that's huge.
or they're
That's huge.
withdrawing
Yes, a
things
lot.
that don't even have value. They don't even really want. Wow. And so here's the other thing that is crucial.
Okay.
Right? A man and a woman have to figure out what equals a deposit and what equals a withdrawal.
That's huge.
Right? And
That's
sometimes, initially, early on, they don't even know. Right? So I had to kind of figure it out. And it can change. Right? Over time,
Yes.
when you're single, your love deposit is one thing, right?
Yes.
But when you have children, you have 4 kids, 5 kids, dude, it's something completely different. And so as a man, I know for Jessica, her love deposit, when we were first married, it was one thing. Now, it's something completely different. Let me tell you where you want to just blow a marriage up. It's when a man thinks he's trying to give her a deposit.
Yes.
And she takes it as a withdrawal. Oh my gosh, do you understand how bad that be?
Wow.
I'm thinking I'm doing, and listen.
Or not even a withdrawal, but it's not going into the
It's not
account.
effective.
It's not
No.
going into the account. I've invested all this energy, all this time.
Wow. You're thinking.
I'm working. I am
He's
working.
thinking he's showing me love.
And
It's
I
not
get
doing it.
no
And
credit
I'm-
for it.
And we got to talk about that too.
We gotta dissect that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, or just a small itty bitty example. The other day we were talking, and he was just saying how, I'm stressed, and he was just, and I was just like, let me give you a hug. And I could tell by his body language. I'm like, that didn't make you feel good. But for me,
You're like, yes.
I would, if he were to come and give me a hug, I'd be like, helps
yes.
so much.
Absolutely.
But it's not the same for him, so I stopped. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. It's so small, but
you thought you were doing.
he's standing there like this.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. That's not moving. That's not moving the man. That's huge.
And
Wow.
that will frustrate a marriage.
Yes.
From a man's perspective, if I'm trying to do something for my wife, we've had a fight,
Yes.
and I go out my way to do something for you, and it's like, that'll get me. Now I'm more frustrated. I'm more
Wow.
mad, and you're mad because I don't even know how to give. I don't know how to love you.
Wow.
I don't even know what makes you happy. And he's not paying attention to me. He don't even know my love language.
And
It's a waste of time.
Wow.
You see how that thing is starting to spiral?
It's a cycle.
It's a
Wow.
cycle. Yeah, and people are trapped in that. They're in the midst of that.
Yeah.
And yep, you know what? Marriage is hard when you look at it like that.
That is huge.
And so to help combat that,
Yes.
we now ask each other, do I get credit? Do I get credit? But
It's huge.
it's not. I think maybe some people will get upset.
I like it. I like it.
He's only helping me because he wants sex.
Right.
Which is what he wants.
Right. Yes.
I want sleep. I want hugs. I
You
want
want sex. Yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, right? Why not ask? Right? And like,
How can I love you?
how can I love you? Will this make you feel better? Would this give me?
this
And
count?
for me, if it does this count for credit? Do you feel love if I can? And
If I do
because
this.
again, early on,
Example.
Okay.
early on you don't know.
Yes.
Right? You're learning. And
But you guys have been married for
15, but we still do it.
We still do
15,
it.
16 years.
Because
Wow.
I know it changes.
15?
And
That's huge.
it changes. And like, again, I don't want to waste my time.
Yes.
If
it's not a big deal,
if it's not a big deal,
I don't want to do it.
and I got to go out my way to do it, I'm not doing it. Let's do something else.
Absolutely.
I will literally stop. And cold turkey, I'm stopping. We're going to do something else.
That's awesome. That's
why
awesome,
would
though.
you give me a hug and not get credit?
Wow.
You know, I'm not.
You're like standing there
Yeah.
like a statue.
But honestly,
great.
that's I think that question, do I get credit, kind of started from our kids.
Okay.
But you can see it even applies to our kids. So Titus specifically, Mom, can you play with me? Dad, can you play with me? Can you play? I'm like, go play with your siblings. Go play with your siblings, kind of thing. And so he was, when he was younger, they were really into trains.
Yes.
And so I'm like, okay, we're gonna play. And I build this big old train track. We use all the pieces. It's spread out.
Wow.
Check.
I did it.
I did it. No, I didn't. Titus said, okay, now let's play. And I said, no, I played. I spent all this time and played with you. He said, well, no, we didn't. We haven't played yet, Mom. I'm like,
Oh.
I get no credit?
Wow.
I get no credit.
Wow. For him, it didn't.
All of this
For
time.
him, it didn't count.
It didn't count.
And that's important.
That's huge.
But what counts is when they're younger now, they would be able to tell now.
Yes.
You can hold a little Lego on a table. What?
Just make little noises.
No.
Does that count? You credit. And I'm like,
It doesn't matter.
What?
Right? And in a busy schedule with everything you have going
Yes.
on,
You guys
don't
run
have time to
businesses.
spend 30 minutes and not get credit.
Wow.
Mom, you never play with me. Dad, you never play with me. I mean, that breaks your heart.
Absolutely.
Especially when you're trying.
You're trying to meet their needs. You guys run businesses. You guys, what?
I even went out of my way one morning recently to play with Titus. And I got everything done, got up early, and all right, let's play. No, he was already playing with Levi. And I'm like, no, we are playing now. Stop, we're playing now.
Right.
This scheduled.
Yes. I woke up early for this.
Yes.
Wow. That's huge that you guys are intentional, though. You guys are so, and I think that in marriage, that's so important to be intentional and to have that communication. But I have to ask you guys, because I feel like in certain marriages, communication doesn't happen because you have all of that extra baggage that you're in the negative. I feel like that's where a lot of Americans are. They're in the negative. They have, those smart remarks that keep making withdrawals, and they have that sarcastic remark toward their spouse that keep making those withdrawals. And if you're talking to someone today who is there, what's your advice for them? Because they don't want to communicate. They don't want to talk to each other.
Yeah.
They both have to be on board.
Well, and here's the thing,
That's
right?
huge.
There's two people, right? So for the man, I'm telling you, look, you're responsible, dude. You're the head of the household, right? So man up. Let's go. Stop making excuses. Start making deposits.
Come on.
All right? Make deposits. Figure out a way. Man up. It's your marriage, your household, right? And so
Yes.
Figure it out. And it starts by modeling what Jesus modeled. Serve your wife. Figure out a way to serve her. I don't care if she doesn't deserve it. I don't care if she's...
hear that.
And listen, I know there's some marriages out there where the woman is crazy.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. You married her, right? It is your responsibility.
Wow.
I'm not saying it's easy.
Right.
It's not easy. The same is true for the wife.
Yes.
There are women out there,
Yes.
you're going to have to suck it up. You're going to have to figure out a way in the midst of a bad relationship, a husband who's not loving you properly.
Yes.
To try to break the downward cycle. Make a deposit. You've got to figure out a way. When you're spiraling out of control, someone has to man up. So the man has his role, the woman has his role. Someone has to be the bigger person and lay down their life.
Oh, just like Jesus did?
Yes.
Oh.
And I'm going to suffer suffer so that we can try to get our marriage back in a place where we're building again. And it takes literally taking your marriage to the cross. Like I have to lay down my life for my husband. and I know I don't want to. And when you're doing it, here's the thing, goes back to that compound interest, right?
Yes.
Unfortunately, when you're in the negative,
Yes.
you're going to make deposits and you're not going to see, and you're not going to feel it, you're not going to see anything. And that's the part that really stinks.
Right.
Right? Even in money, even in the positive, it takes time for that compound interest to make a difference, right? But once it does, it's exponential. But initially,
You don't see it.
You don't see
You
it
don't
at
see
all.
it.
And it's like, it ain't working.
Wow.
It's not. But you got to continue to press. And I'm here to say that part is not easy. The same thing is with finances. When you're financially, spiraling out of control, you got to start cutting something, cut the cable, cut dining out. Figure out a way to save $5.
That's good.
And turn that $5 into $6. And slowly but surely,
That's good.
it will flip. And it's going to be hard, and it's going to take a lot of time. Here's what's at stake. A life sentence.
Oof.
A life sentence of a bad marriage.
Ooh.
A life sentence of debt and being in bondage.
Wow.
So like, here's the thing. I understand it's hard and it's uncomfortable.
Yes.
But do you want life? Or, I'm just thinking about.
I'm sorry,
the movie
just like,
Life.
dude.
And when I do say life,
That was
to me,
good.
Life. You mean tell me I'm gonna have this for the rest of my life? Or you can say, listen, you may have 5 more years of this, and then. So that it's your call. If you say, well, we're too far out, it's too bad, there's no hope. Okay, life. You're choosing life. A prison
sentence.
My! You are the sentencing.
It sounds awful. But you know what? So many people can relate to that. So many people are saying, I got to do it until my kid turns 18.
Nope.
Right? They're saying like, man, I just have to tough this out. That's what you see. You see a lot of times in society, people are waiting to their children go off to college, and then they are separating and they're divorcing. Because they're like having that approach, like, man, I have to, basically it's a life in prison, like a sentence. But I love how you put that. And that was such a great perspective for me because but marriage can be life-giving. Yeah. Like, I feel like I heard hope in there. Yes. It can be life-giving or it can be a death sentence.
Let me give you another statistic that I thought
That's huge. That's huge.
Right? And I don't know if it still applies, but I heard Dr. Phil give this. All right. He said 50% of all marriages end in divorce.
Right.
Right? That is high.
That's super high.
But other families that pray together, husband and wife. Now, again, not pray at each other, but pray together.
Yes.
Right? The statistic is 1 in 10,000.
What?
1 in 10,000.
No.
Just by praying together.
Get out of here.
And so let's just say that's an extreme case, and you take off a 0, and you become 1 in 1,000.
That's
amazing. 1 in 100. Right now it's 50%.
Wow.
Right? And so, for the marriages that are out there that are suffering and are spiraling out of control, let's just start with praying together.
Yeah.
And not praying at each other, but if you pray together, let's see what God can do if He becomes the center of our marriage every day.
What do you mean pray at each other?
Yeah, let's dissect that.
Yeah, let's look at that.
Let's dissect that. That's a good
Lord,
one.
please help my wife. She is so fat and she is so arrogant, and she got to deal with that spending problem.
You just never get it right.
Yeah, that's praying at each other.
Work on him, Lord.
No, work on her. She needs
Show him his fault.
Yes, exactly. That's praying at each other.
Come on.
Instead of saying, Lord, you know what? We're struggling. We're hurting. We need you.
That's huge.
My wife she is struggling with this issue, and I don't know how to help her. Lord, help me help my wife. I don't know. We don't know what to do.
Wow.
Lord, we don't even know it's possible. But we know somehow or another, all things are possible with you.
Come on.
And here's the thing, I truly believe, man, I hate religion for being I love relationship.
Yes.
God wants to have a relationship with you.
He does.
He knows when it's phony and it's trying to be. But when I truly believe, you move God when it's truly authentic. It's not polished.
Wow.
And I believe the reason is when it's not polished and it's authentic, you know it's God and not some religious trinket or something, you know, or formula.
Yes.
You know, 1 + 1. If I give my tithe, I
If
show
I
up
do
every
this,
day.
then I'm going to have a good life.
I'm gonna have a good life.
Yes.
Man, when you come to God and you're broken and you don't have any way of, God, only you are going to save this, I believe God moves in that. We need you. And, but I don't.
That's
For
huge.
some reason, I feel like there are more marriages that are not praying together than you would think.
I would agree. I would agree with you. I mean, you guys know this about us, but we did not pray together before because Nate wasn't a believer. And so for early on, we didn't pray together. But I kid you not, the moment we started praying together every single day, we've done this for every single day for the last 3-4 years. And I kid you not, our marriage, it has transformed our marriage. And even if we're like upset with each other, like we'll grab each other's hand and I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
It's your turn to pray. But we do it anyway.
Yes,
We do it anyway. We do it anyway. Yes.
And again, here's another reason why you want to have like-minded, you want to marry someone who's a Christian, because when you are not a believer, you literally have no playbook. You have no common ground. Who says what's wrong and what's right? Because society, there is no rules. But when you have God at the center, and as believers, we can't argue with God. The text says this.
This is it.
And there's a common ground where, hey, look, I didn't say this. God said this. And so there's freedom in having God at the center.
Wow, that's huge. So guys, I don't know about you, but submission for me was very, very difficult. Coming into a marriage, I didn't, have an authority figure in my life. And so, now I have this guy who's trying to, I felt like, control me. I feel like you guys do such a great job. And for me, it was not easy. So let's talk about submission and what that looks like for you guys.
So even what you just said right there, you said you felt like you had this guy that was trying to control you.
Yes.
I'll say I have never felt like that.
What?
I have never felt like Michael was trying to control me.
So mindset for one.
Well, no, I think it's more so how he
leads.
Yeah, it's smart.
Ooh, that's good.
Michael makes it easy for me to follow him. And so.
So it's, for me, in a biblical marriage, I know that I am the authority figure. I know that she is supposed to submit. But I also know that I am supposed to lay down my life for my wife.
Yeah.
Right? And so what my goal is, I want to operate in a way that she wants to submit to me. She wants to walk alongside for me. Do I have a reserve account, or do I have? I've built up enough equity to say, if I needed to, I need you to do it anyway. Now, see how I said, I need you to do it anyway.
That's different. And that was another thing. He has never said, well, you're just going to have to submit on this.
Yeah, I would
He's never said that.
Or I would never said, do it anyway. I mean, that sends a cringe at my back.
Yeah, I would probably, that doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. Can you imagine?
I could, if the situation was dire enough, I could have said, babe, I need you to submit on this one. And again, it's an ask. It's still an ask.
Not a you are doing this.
You're submitting. I need you to submit. But how do you get there? The question is, how do you get there? You get there by building that equity up all along. I'm making the deposits up. I am serving my wife. I'm coming alongside her.
Yeah.
I'm building her up. When it's not important, I want to make the investment into her. I want to give her. I want to serve her. So when it's time to follow, she willingly follows, right? And so the problem is...
because of all those deposits and everything, I know when he asks, I know that he would never do something to just lord it over me.
Yeah. It's the same thing with our relationship with you, Shelley.
Yes.
Like, we're not married, we're just friends.
Yes.
But what I want to do in our friendship,
Yeah.
I want to serve. I want to do things for you all along.
Yes.
And that's part of a relationship. And a friendship is, it's a give and take.
Yes.
So that when a true need comes up,
It's easy.
It's an ask.
It's easy. Yes.
And, you know, I don't have to, quote unquote, demand it from you. It's a Shelly, I need this. And it's
done.
No question.
Wow.
But
Wow.
that doesn't happen if
Without.
I've had all these other requests and all these other demands and all these other situations where it was awkward and we've just abused our relationship, even in friendship.
Yes.
So a marriage is no different.
Wow.
She's a person. She has feelings. And so all along, I'm thinking with the end in mind, I'm trying to take the day to make an investment so if I need it down the road,
Yes.
it's not going to be an argument.
Oh, that's huge.
And it only comes from the man. The man has to lay down his life for his wife. He has to serve her.
Wow.
Huh?
Biblically.
Yeah.
Right? And again, what does that look like? That looks like figuring out what her love language is. That looks like, serving her. That looks like in the midst of her role, in the midst of the job
That she has. Yes.
Whether it's in the home or
outside.
I come in and I'm blessing her in the midst of it without asking. Right?
For example, when I'm working late doing softball lessons, and he has found this out because of I often come into the house and I nitpick right away. It's 9:00 at night. Hey, we gotta get the kitchen done. Where's the homework?
Yes.
Come on now, clean this place up.
Yes,
What are we
yes,
doing?
I understand that.
Sometimes Michael, did we get the homework done? And it's not received well. And I'm like,
Right.
Oh,
Oh, right.
But in the midst of all that, so he communicates to me. He's like, you can't come in barking orders.
Right. Right.
But also at the same time, he knows that it would bless me to come home and it's just,
It's done.
it's done. And when it's like that, I'm just like, oh, babe, thank you so much.
Yeah.
But there's also been times where I've forgotten to say something. I didn't.
Or she hasn't noticed.
Yeah.
Right? And in the moment, she comes in and doesn't notice, or is still barking, or it's not to her satisfaction.
Right.
And as the man, I'm about to and I could say something in the moment,
Yes.
and I would win.
Because you feel justified.
I'll be justified.
Right.
I would be justified, and I would win the moment.
Yes.
But it would damage the relationship.
Oh,
So
come on.
I let it go.
No.
Right?
Wow.
And I wait. I said, just so you know, babe, when you came in yesterday and we had tried to do it, you were barking, that didn't sit over well for me. That kind of hurt. We tried, and we will try to do a better job.
And I repent. I'm like,
Just remember, we're trying. And again, that's that communication that we have, and at that time she has the opportunity to respond back. Okay, I'm sorry. Just so you know, I was going through 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we're in a dialogue of something that's beneficial and not tearing our relationship down.
But to even take it one step further, and we've done this both ways. Before I come home, he'll send me a text. Hey, just so you know, Michael and Aspen worked really hard on the kitchen.
Give them credit.
Give them credit.
It was not right.
Right, absolutely.
Or vice versa. Or Michael will come home from work and I'll be like, hey, Daddy, look at Aspen's project. Doesn't Aspen's hair look so nice?
Just so I know.
You want your spouse to win.
Come on.
You want them to win. So, when I come in the house, Michael, Aspen, you guys did such a great job on the kitchen. Thank you for blessing me.
Let's talk about that. Hold on. Let's time out. Because I believe a lot of times in relationships right now, we are not wanting the other person to win. Can we talk about that?
Yeah,
that's awful.
That's
your half. That's your half. That's like saying you don't want you to win.
Yeah, it's like I don't want my teammate to win. I don't want him to score the points.
It's not even a teammate.
We're
one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're on the same team. We're going after the same. We're going the same direction. We are one.
Are we going in the same direction?
Well, that's...
And I think that is the part of submission that is difficult. Because when two people are going in opposite directions,
Yep.
one person is not submitting to even God. Another person is not submitted to her husband.
Yeah.
Because she feels like, oh, he's not walking with Jesus. He's not strong enough to lead my family.
All right, but so even with that,
right?
I'm saying this, I know it's hard.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
But the woman's role, like what you as a female have to see is the things of this earth are not eternal.
Right.
God, my Father, sees what I'm doing in darkness, right? Or in the dark when no one's looking.
Yes.
So when you're serving your husband in the midst of his sin,
come on.
I believe you are getting massive rewards in heaven.
Come on.
And I know that's so super spiritual.
That's
but
huge. That's huge.
That has to be your why.
Come on.
That has to be what drives you. It's like, Lord, I'm going to suffer and I'm going to honor my husband because you've called me to do this in the midst of this sin, right? Because of your light and your honor, dude, I'm telling you,
the Bible talks about that.
He's being convicted. Right?
All day.
God's going to deal with him.
Yes.
And I truly believe a woman is going to get massive rewards in heaven when she submits and honors her husband in the midst of sin.
Yes, that's
Whatever
good.
That is.
That's huge because, like, I believe that prevents people from being on the same team.
Yep.
And I believe that you guys do it so well. Let's talk about that. How in the world, outside of submission, outside of, you being an example and modeling Christ for her, making it easy for her to follow, you said that. What other tips would you guys give people who are having a tough time navigating marriage? You said communication. You said dying to self. What's something else? Because I know another thing that are problems in a marriage, finances. Yeah. Let's talk about that. How do you guys navigate finances, and what advice do you have when they say that might be the top cause of divorce in America?
So I know for us, when I got hurt from the NFL,
yes,
right, when we moved back to Columbia, we fell on financial hard times, right, and we pretty much lost it
everything.
All. Yeah.
Wow.
And we were living with my parents. Wow. And had 2 children, and so this is why, from my husband's perspective, I needed my wife. I'm pretty much I was the provider.
You were the breadwinner,
right?
Yeah.
And but at the time, I could not provide.
Wow.
And so instead of her like man up, she was working, right? And so she crossed over, and she was my helpmate during that time of struggle. So therefore, it's like you can't have lines in a marriage that you can't cross this line.
Right.
This is all for you. You're only going to do that.
Right.
No, we have to be able to help each other. So within the finances, you have to communicate goals, expectations, and where you have to be going in the same direction.
Yes.
All right. Financially, if finances are not right, it's going to really hurt a marriage. All right. It can bring you closer if you're working together. You want to ask a question? Go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. And so you're talking about how you made that transition from the NFL to, I guess, civilian life, and you fell on hard times. You're living with your parents. She starts working. How did you guys get through that tough time? How did you guys get through? And, you were used to a certain lifestyle, but I will say this about your wife. This is something I know about her. Is she's so non-materialistic. I was just gonna say. I remember the ring story, and her not even knowing, like, oh, this is worth a lot of money, until her friends told her how much it was worth. And so I say all that to say, it wasn't a huge transition for her because she can care less about that. She loved you for you, and she is not fixated on external things. How was that transition for you from going to this amazing NFL lifestyle and accomplishing so much to losing it all?
It was hard. I almost that's when I had my the closest I've been to walking away from my faith.
Wow.
Because I had a works-based faith.
Yeah.
I grew up in a Christian home, and everything was, I've always known God, and I've always followed God, and I've had success doing that.
Yes.
When that stopped, even though I have sins, but I truly tried to walk a Christian life.
Yes.
And fell on hard times. I was like, hold on. 1 + 1 does not equal 2 in my faith. Bad things can happen in the midst of obeying and following God.
And you hadn't experienced that before.
I've never experienced everything equal more success when I honored God. So every time I honored God, whatever it was, showing up, church, tithing, I mean, just you name it, I was a rule follower.
Wow.
And when I lost it all, I'm like, hold up. These promises that I see in the Bible are not
Manifesting in my life.
yeah, they're not coming to fulfillment. What's going on?
Wow.
And I had to deal with that, and it was healthy as all get out.
Really?
I can tell you that a works-based faith is wrong.
Absolutely.
And so it's got to be relational. And what that birth was a life of, it's not about 1, 2, 3, but it is truly about the relationship. My relationship with my Heavenly Father, and then my relationship with my wife.
That's good.
And it was very, 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 it was hard for me. And I struggled with it probably 3 or 4 years ago. I felt like a big failure.
Wow.
I felt like I let my family down. I felt like I let God down. And I struggled with that big time.
Oh, along with that, I think the only time that I didn't really say anything towards him with regard to that, but I remember one time when we were living in Georgia, I was scared. I was like, Lord, I was like, Michael, what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
Wow.
And I think that's the only time that I really spoke to it. But
Wow.
you got to understand, not only with finances or whatever, he wasn't trying to not provide,
Wow.
So why would I sit there, the person that I love, and be like, what you gonna do? Let's go. Why would I do that?
Wow.
Just...
Wow.
And here's the thing that helps, Shelly. I'm just telling you, ladies, you need to hear this, right? It helped me massively to see her grinding just as hard as I was to provide, to help me.
Wow.
And
That's
so
huge.
again, I talk about that serving thing. Like she was serving me. She was serving me. She was helping me. Right? I was failing in a category, and she stepped up
Wow.
and filled the holes that were missing in me, and so therefore, I loved her that much more.
Wow.
Right? I love what I think Jimmy and those guys did a great job with the love and respect thing.
Yeah.
Women won't love, we won't respect, and
Yes.
it was when she did that for me. It made me want to love her so much more because
wow.
she did something. She was doing something that I couldn't do by myself, and
That wasn't we don't have, he has his main role, I have my main role.
Yes.
His main role is to provide. I would say my main role is everything else. Household, kids, that's my main. But I know, so in that instance, it's like I said, it's not a line, He needed help, so I come help.
Wow.
And there's times
That's
when
huge.
I need help with the house.
yeah. So
and
how can
he
I ask her to
Wow.
help me
Wow.
like that? And then not the house.
I'm not going to help you.
Yeah,
Wow.
you got to get the house right.
Sorry.
No, so that is so, I want to say that is huge. That is huge. However, some people would push back and say, hold on. How can I put this and not sound, some people could say, but it's his role to provide and she should do this. And I feel like sometimes society does that. And I don't love that. I don't love that about society.
It is based off our society.
But I love
our
what
culture.
you said. I love what you said. She is my helpmate.
Yes.
And there's no clear, like, she's helping me.
Correct.
Because we're on the same. I love that.
That's what I mean. In our culture, in our society, typically the man does provide.
Yes.
Right? But again, she is helping me.
I love that.
It's not that she's taking over the responsibility of providing.
Yes.
She's just helping me in my time of need.
I
and
love
let's
that.
just say that she's the provider, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I am the homemaker.
Yes.
Right? That the actual role is not important. It's the fact that one is struggling in their responsibility.
Yes.
The other one comes alongside
And
them,
helps.
whatever it is.
Yes.
I don't want people to get hung up on provider, homemaker, and all.
Yeah.
I
It's
know.
irrelevant.
Yes.
It's my roles, your roles in this,
Whatever
your
the
position.
family's decided.
Yeah. And I'm struggling. Let me help you.
I think that that's huge. I think that that's huge because I believe that society gets so caught up on this is what a man should do.
Right.
This is what a woman should do. I say that just because, like, even in certain dynamics I've seen, you know, if the woman is working a ton and being successful, she's almost criticized for making more money.
Really?
I've seen that.
I've seen it as well.
And I'm, from a man's perspective, that is hard. But that's pride. Okay? From a man,
It's hard
It's hard
to see
to have a context where
The woman's making more than the man.
making more, or the provider. That would be a hard pill,
Okay.
right? But that's pride. It's hard. I'm not saying it's right. It's just hard, and that's pride. And so there was a time where she was making more than me,
And he called me his sugar mama.
Exactly.
There's no pride.
There's no pride.
But
Come on. I love that. I love that.
What would you say, because I'm just sitting here thinking about
Yes.
it. What would you say, Michael, to somebody who, let's say, whoever the provider is in the family, the husband or the wife, is not doing a good job, but is clearly, basically doesn't recognize that they're doing a bad job in their role and doesn't receive help, doesn't want help?
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
From a wife's perspective, I would try to get him surrounded by other people.
That's huge.
Get him have conversations. Try to unintentionally educate, and but have conversations. What do you think about this? And what do you think? Like, ask questions, but never ever like say, "Did you need to man up?" or make him or belittle what he's doing.
Oh,
That's hard for a man.
So, hold on. I have to say that. So I know for me as a woman and a black woman, can I say that? Sometimes I don't have the most respectful tone or even approach to knowing how to phrase things. So you're saying don't be like, oh no. Like, I would probably, hold on, that would be my natural non-Jesus moment.
Absolutely.
That would totally be my if I am not led by the Holy Spirit, I'd be like, this is what you need to fix. So how can I not do that? Or how can I be led differently? How would you want Jessica? Because Jessica, I will say, she does a really good job of naturally saying a lot of things in the right way. Naturally. Naturally. You do a better job of.
I guess it's about pushing the ball down the field.
Okay.
With your husband.
Okay.
And before you speak, you have to think to yourself, is this going to help us long term?
Come on.
It's going to take it the wrong way.
Come on.
And if
That's
it's
huge.
genuinely something that we need long term, like
Yes.
a financial decision,
Yes.
you got to take that pride and be like, dude, I want to just.
I can
lay
give an
into it.
example.
Okay. Yes, that's huge.
So it was 2008, okay, and so somewhere around there. And so, we have our businesses going and everything. We're just transitioning out of football.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it was 2009 then. And so Michael, we're writing everything off. Oh, it's a write-off. It's a write-off. Oh, no, we can write it off. We can write it off. We can write it off. And I'm like, babe, yes, but that money's still coming out. So it's a write-off, but we still only have like so much in the bucket, and we're writing it all out, but there's not more in the bucket. And so so that's when we made a spreadsheet, and I'm like, okay, here's our budget, and this is how much we think we're going to spend in each one, and now after we have this, now we can write the other stuff up, but we have to have this covered. And so I kind of started it, and he took it. He's way better with numbers and math than I am, and he took it and morphed it into this big elaborate that we still use today.
No way.
We still use today.
I love that.
But I guess that would be a way of addressing it without being like.
That is huge. I love that. That's a great example.
You have to, with a man, if you're trying to have a biblical marriage,
yes,
and set it up for a long-term success and fun, you can't win that battle, Shelley. You can't win that. In the moment, you're going to want to, yes, I know you're going to want to just like, hey, man up, let's go.
Yes.
You can't do that.
Yes.
You do that, you're going to start a fight. And now you're spiraling out of control. But when you find a way lovingly to, man, you not only are you not taking, borrowing money from the bank,
yes,
you are making a deposit that's going to, you may not see the fruit from that today,
yes,
but long term, it's just going to pay dividends.
Wow. So I know we have to wrap this up because, man, but there's so much.
But we got to talk about friends too.
Yes, friend. What kind of friends?
Because all right, so earlier Michael talked about baggage.
Yes.
All right, and so I think, especially people who maybe don't get married right out of high school, right out of college,
yes,
where you ran probably in the same circles. Let's say you met, in your 30s or something like that, and you have your own circles and you have your own friends.
Yes.
And your own baggage.
Yes.
So when you come into marriage, it's like Michael said, you have your baggage already, but just you have to reinvest. You have to change things around. You may need to get some new friends.
For sure. Here's what
that
happens,
is,
Shelley, and I see this all the time.
Yes.
Marriages for men and women.
Okay.
They're having a problem, and then the man or the woman goes and talks to their friends, and that
like opposite sex friends, same sex
friends.
friends.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
And sometimes
their circle of their friends.
Got it.
When who do you run to when you're having a problem? Who do you go vent to? Like, who you getting advice from? Girl, you need to leave that dude. You need to leave it. Or dude, she wrong. She need to be doing this.
Yes.
That's unhealthy for a marriage.
For sure.
Right? And you have, when you come into, even if you don't have any marriage baggage, you have to have friends in your life that are going to tell you the truth and not what you want to hear.
Oh, that's huge.
And I'm telling you, that is, outside of prayer, that might be the next best thing that's going to help your friend circle.
Ooh.
You need
a strong,
healthy, godly friendship base that you can go talk to that will give you advice that you don't want to hear.
That's one thing I appreciate about you guys is that at any point, Nate and I can come to you guys and be like, hold on, this is what I'm dealing with. And you guys are always going to point us back to each other, one, and you're going to point us to Jesus. And you guys never bash the other person or like, you always focus on the person. Like, you always focus on me, and you always focus on, I love that about you guys. I love that.
And the thing is, what happens typically, right? Yeah. Every time. I hear her. Yeah. I hear her bashing you. For sure. Right?
Yeah. I'm not telling him, but I'm just on the phone and he's within earshot.
But then she got the phone. She's like, you need to talk.
I love that. She will light into me, by the way.
She will light into you.
Yes, I love it. No.
But she's not telling you. She's telling me, you need to get your boy.
Come on.
And I do. I go back and I tell him, yo, bro, let's man up.
Yes.
And now
we can
you
come
both
together.
are trying to do something.
I love that.
And it's, okay, you're both trying to make a deposit.
Yes.
Not just one.
Yes.
You got 2 deposits.
Yes.
So it's double your money.
Wow.
And
It's
so,
huge. Compound interest.
Compounding. Yeah, so compounding. So like, your
love
friends are crucial. Get into a small group. Right? Get a family that you can share life with together. Because dude, life is hard.
Yes.
Trying to do this thing solo.
Yes.
That's darn near impossible.
It should be. I feel, and I think Michael feels the same way. Michael should be comfortable hanging with whoever my friends are. He shouldn't feel like.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah. And vice versa.
Vice versa.
I should be okay.
Hang out with my dudes. It's like no problem. It's just like she's one of the boys. If I go hang out with you and your friends, it's like not awkward. There's not been any gossip. There's no.
Oh, that's
it's
huge.
Just easy, and vice versa. That's the type of friendship that you're looking for. That is, there's no weirdness.
You said that there should not be any gossip.
100.
What do you mean? Let's dissect that a little bit. I know that we have to leave and wrap this up, but you said like there shouldn't be any gossip. But like I'm
So if I were to be hanging with you, man, Michael is just awful. He is not doing good, and every time that we talked, I was always talking negatively about my husband. I believe there is a line where I am coming to you and I need advice, and then on the other side of that line is I'm just straight bashing my husband, and you're letting me bash my husband.
And you're letting her, and you're feeding it. You're feeding into it. Oh yeah, girl, you should let him do that, and you need to make him do so and so and so and so. Like you're kind of adding on top of it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like what we try to do when we hear that, we understand that the other person could possibly be 100% wrong.
Okay.
Right? But what we try to do is, she is trying to deal with your issues, right? And when she's talking to you about your marriage or whatever, it's your issues, right?
Yes.
When I'm talking to the guy, dude, she's wrong. She's got a problem, but I'm never telling him that.
Right.
I'm telling him, okay, what can you do? Because you can't fix her, right? But you can change what you're doing.
That's good.
And then I come back and talk to her.
Right.
So when I'm around my men, right, there shouldn't be any situation where there's something going around about some dude's wife. Everybody should be able to come in and just feel as comfortable and relaxed around the guys and not feel like they've been talking about me or they know my business or it's some gossip talk.
That's so very interesting because I've witnessed and been a part of that myself. And I've been on both sides of that. And so thank you guys for pointing that out. Is there anything else? Friendships we've talked about, finances we've talked about, being the spiritual lead. Any final thoughts on marriage and
Sex?
Oh, we have not talked about sex. We should, hold on for a second. We've got to do this again. That means that we have to do this again because we've got to talk about, that should be a segment in itself.
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
Yeah. It's just
It's not an add-on.
No.
I can tell you this though. Let's wrap it up. I
Yes.
want people to know that although marriage is, I don't like marriage being work. Marriage is an investment, right? I want people to think marriage is an investment. So there is effort there, but it's not a drag. It's not a burden. And you can have a marriage that is exciting. It's
And fun, and something you look forward to.
Yes. I mean, I can't imagine
I
being
wouldn't
alone.
want to get married if it was if that's what.
And a lot of people are getting married because a kid or a mistake. And
Yes.
I mean, it's, I don't know. It is worth it.
I will say a lot of people do get married for the wrong reasons. And I guess you're trying to communicate that marriage should be the way that God intended.
Yes.
And the way that we are, I guess approaching marriage, we're saying like, oh, you just have to struggle.
Yes.
But even if you got into marriage
For the wrong reasons?
for the wrong reason
Okay.
or a bad decision, it still can be good.
It can still be good.
If you still, we feel, if you still try to make the deposits and you try to communicate and you tell each other exactly, give each other the cheat sheet, give them the study guide or whatever, I don't see why it wouldn't work.
Right.
Yeah, like here, and understand, there are consequences of sin.
Yes.
That never go away.
Right.
Right? But in the midst of that, if you are in a biblical, God-centered marriage, God is in the business of taking something that is damaged and making it beautiful.
I believe that.
Right? And so, although there could be baggage that you're always going to have to deal with, it doesn't mean it can't be blessed. Right? You want to have a blessed marriage, right? And although you can start the thing wrong and you can maybe get into it for the wrong reasons, it doesn't mean that God can't bless it, right? And when you do it God's way and you make those investments, it can be blessed. Maybe that's the word. It can be blessed, right? And so let's not get it twisted. When you do think that there's consequences when we sin.
Yes.
But just because
Or do things out of order.
Or do things out of order,
That's,
right?
yeah, that's good.
But it doesn't mean you can't have blessings in the midst of it. God can't bless it. God can't make it fruitful. God can't turn something that was dead and bring it back to life, right? And it takes God and it takes an investment on our part. It takes faith, but it can happen.
That's good. Last question. For those who are feeling hopeless in their marriage and feeling as if, like, my marriage is over, what hope can you offer them today?
Yes. When you're at that point, I'm telling you, I'm almost sure you're not praying with your spouse. Prayer. You're not praying.
Right. You've given up.
You've given up. Jesus is hope.
Come on.
So you are hopeless. You are literally hopeless because you don't have Jesus in the center.
Come on.
Right? Add Jesus and then come talk to me.
Wow.
Right? See what happens when I'm giving it to you.
Wow.
I'm not gonna give up. I need you.
Come on.
And figure out a way to pray with your spouse. Pray for him. Whatever it is for him. Have an unselfish prayer. I know you hate my guts right now, but tell me what can I pray for you right now, for wherever it is, right?
Yeah.
And just pray for him, for his need, and then slip in, and Lord, please just bless our marriage.
Yes.
We need you in our marriage.
Yes.
And I would say start with that. I think Jesus is the hope.
Come on. That's good. That's good. Well, thank you guys so much for being here today. We have to do this again because we have to talk about sex and the importance of sex in your marriage. And I know a lot of people have so many questions about sex and just, aren't having enough sex. And so, people are frustrated or going outside of the marriage. And so, I feel like we should definitely talk about that. So thank you guys so much. And where can people find you? How can people, if someone wanted to connect with you and your business, you're at All Softball, right? At All Softball.
Yes.
Allsoftball on Facebook, and you have your own website. And how would someone like Michael Boulware, they can find you on Facebook?
Yes.
That's about it right now.
It may grow, but
yes, absolutely.
Find me through Shelley.
If you guys want to contact, yes, absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much, and until next time.
All right.
Yay.